Okay, play versus the pincher. The pincher is a tough positional chess player who will squeeze you over the board until you resign. Let's see. Life is life. At the end of the day, losing is part of the possible results of the game. Hungry clicking noise. Beware, this is just the start. Okay. Now I can play a lot of different things. I can play bishop c4, which would be the Italian game. I can play bishop b5, which is the Spanish, or call it Ruy Lopez. I can play d4, which is the Scotch. I played the Scotch for a while compared to the Italian game, which is very good, but I don't remember much of the theory. And this is the Scotch gambit. Okay, so strangely we see that he makes a move that doesn't make much sense, and he loses a pawn. But this move does make sense, queen e7. It's a kind of dangerous move, so I must be careful. Notice I'm playing castle right away, and then I need to go back or do something here. I don't know, I think it would be interesting to take. And take. Okay. His queen defends the rook b4. What could I play? I could play queen c3. Let's see. Queen c3, he plays rook e4, he play queen takes c6, and give him check. I don't know. Queen c3 seems an interesting move after all. Okay, so we saw that it doesn't. He plays good chess in a sense, better than the other bot. Now, this central pawn is useful. That's all I can say. It's not that it's not useful. To play e5 means that I give this rook access. If I play this move, he has access to the king side, and that's kind of dangerous. Okay? So I think it's better to try to develop the pieces and see where this thing goes. But it's better to be kind of aware of what that rook can do for the price of a pawn. Honestly, b5 wasn't a bad idea in this sense. Okay, so let's play bishop g5. He played queen c6. That's interesting. Now I play bishop e3. Say, why do you play bishop e3? Because I have a chance to attack c5, and at this point I am the one that is going to play positionally. I'm going to let him take the pawns for trying to create some checkmate attack, which is not easy, but possible. Instead, if I would play bishop, queen d3, very bad, because when he can play bishop a6, it's gonna be a mess. So it's better to let him take the pawns and have a little more activity for my my pieces. Okay? Now, I could take this back, yes, but again, it's not my goal. My goal here is to develop the pieces, okay? I need to bring them out. And as you can see, he plays c6 because he doesn't want me to actually go out with my pieces. Okay. Now I can restrict him and make sense. Now I can play something like rook b1 to keep this, and that does make sense. And then I can play something like knight e1, and knight e1 will actually make him to have to decide what does he want to do with that rook, okay? Generally, you don't want to play knight going back, but this was, I think, the only way to actually get that rook. And now, as you can see, it's quite developed in a sense, and these pieces are moving to my king side, okay? They are all aiming at this. So the next problem could be something like knight g4 and try to give me checkmate. Again, you need to be careful, you need to develop your pieces, bring them out. Okay, there is a problem here, however. e4 must not fall. e4 needs to be supported in some ways. And here, as you can see, the problem repeats itself, right? He's trying to give me checkmate on h2. So what do I play? I think this is the only one. Now, I think I would like to play rook d1, because then if I play bishop f4, he really has some big problems. As you can see, it immediately gives me trouble, and so I could also play knight g2, honestly, not a bad move. Look at him. Look at this guy. That's funny. He's always trying to give you checkmate. So now bishop f4, he has to move. Where does he go? Okay. That's a good move too. And here, I don't know, I think I have some advantage. Again, he's trying to give me checkmate, you know. He will probably try to play rook e2. What can you do? I mean, part of the game, right? But now he has a problem too. He's not in a really good position. So I go back. Oh, this move is interesting because, in a sense, it threatens to play this, but also gives a possible escape to the king. I have an advantage. I should exchange the pieces. Okay, so I think this makes sense. And now with all these pieces, honestly, I don't care. I don't think he can even escape somewhere. I don't know. Now it's a problem because the c2 square is in reality possibly controlled by his bishop h3. So I do have to do something about it. I have probably a couple of moves before. Honestly, this I believe is the best move possible. And let me tell you why. Do you see why now? Because practically My bishop is gonna threaten that pawn, and he needs to push it, but at this point I'm controlling the promoting square and so he cannot do anything, and I still have two pieces. Now the thing is, you see, in the beginning they said that he was very positional. Well, I'm more positional than him. That's a simply a fact. I am more positional than him. And now I will come out with my knight. Keep in mind, you generally should put your pieces on dark squares when the opponent has a light square bishop. I come out with my knight and the game is over practically, because I start to be active, like here for example. Boom. So you see, I have now my pawns on dark squares. I can definitely attack, right? And let's see, let's start to use the king in a more active manner. If I take on d5, he played bishop e6 and take my pawn on a2. So, like I told you, you need to put all your pieces on dark squares, because the light square bishop will not be able to touch them. And now I go to take that pawn. Notice that my a pawn is bad, because if we would remove all the other pieces, I cannot promote, because my dark square bishop is not controlling the square a8. But I'm in reality using that pawn as a scare for the enemy king. Now be careful, tag, and this is over. The point is that I need to control b7 to avoid that he goes on a8, that this king goes here, and so he actually draw the game. Now that he cannot go there, it's over. So all his being positional didn't actually work with me, because I'm more positional than him. And now we just need to avoid a stalemate, and then it's done. Check. Checkmate. And now I will play the game with black. Let's hope I'm lucky too.